cars, the drivers are ready for the penultimate round of the 2015 Historic Formula Ford Championship. The race sponsored by JVM Consultants. The race video is sponsored by Brest Express. The 14th round then of the Historic Formula Ford 1600 Championship run by the HSCC about to get going. Yesterday's race here at Brands Hatch sets the grid for today's race, and that means Max Bartel starts on pole position with championship leader Richard Mitchell, who could claim the championship this weekend, starts alongside him. James Buckton is his main contender. He starts third with Simon Toyne alongside, who also is in championship contention. Rob Smith on row 3 with Rob Wainwright, another championship contender. So you've got Mitchell as the cars go out onto the circuit. Mitchell, Toyne and Wainwright all able to keep the championship going to the final round at Silverstone, the HSCC finals, in a few weeks' time. But if Richard Mitchell beats them, or in the case of Toyne and especially Wainwright, if he's only a place or two behind, Mitchell wins the championship today. So exciting racing expected on the home of Formula Ford racing, Brands Hatch, and the Indy circuit. Lots to look forward to. And here we go then. We're on board with Rob Smith then, starting from row 3. A good race yesterday, winning the leading pack of 6. Before Max Bartel broke away with Richard Mitchell. A great move around the outside, but Bartel gave him the win. Lights out, we go racing. Then a bad start from Buxton, a great start from Wainwright. Not a good start even from Smith. Wainwright and Baines are coming around the outside. It's Max Bartel that leads. Second is Mitchell. Third, Toyne. Buxton's down to 5th. Wainwright up to 4th then. And down to 8th is Smith, because Baines and Stanzel have passed him. The field then, it's a much smaller grid than we've had all season. But the grid's going to be coming well up for Silverstone in a few weeks' time. They've all made it through Paddock Hill Bend safely. Now down into Graham Hill Bend. And you can see they're all starting to split off in a few places. Plenty of battling throughout the pack, and it is Bartel that still leads. The top 4 trying to make a break already, with Mitchell, Toyne, Wainwright all there. Then 6th and 7th to close together. Baines and Stanzel, they had a great battle yesterday. 20-minute race, and across the line they come. A great stroke. They pass the pit wall and complete the first lap of the race. Lots of battling going on. A few cars running side by side down towards Paddock Hill Bend, and Bartel starting to break away from Richard Mitchell. Robert Wainwright though, he's a driver on the move. He's right underneath, right on the gearbox of Simon Toyne. Wiggins, Smith, Morris all there dicing away outside the top 10. Great battling throughout the field in historic Formula Ford. As you can see here at Brands Hatch, Simon Toyne runs out wide and Robert Wainwright tries to come down the inside of him. He was unable to do that though. Wainwright, who has been a race winner this year, notably he was a double winner at Snetterton. That tight battle is Callum Grant as Ollie Smith gains a place. He passes to Wiggins, the 2 leaders then pulling away. Buckton has joined Toyne and Wainwright. Those drivers really battling for second in the championship. They could be the champion still, depending on what Richard Mitchell does. So he's second, that's looking very good for him. The field then comes to complete lap 2. You can see Wainwright is looking very racy here. He had car issues yesterday, but dropped him back to 6th place, but he's back to usual pace, what you'd expect to see him, and it's down the inside. He's got 3rd away from Simon Toyne. What can James Buckton do now in the fellow Eldon as he tries to challenge up towards Druids possibly? Looking back, Wiggins and Morris still going at it, but Ollie Smith has pulled away from them. Just up the road, Ross Driver is all over the back of Kevin Stanzel. He was doing this yesterday. Can he find a way through today? There's a huge line of cars being led by John O'Baines into the Graham Hill Bend. Now onto the Cooper Straight and down towards 30s and McLaren. Fast corner is 30s, and you flick right through McLaren, getting down a gear into clearways. No changes there yet. Wainwright still got Toyne right underneath him as they go down towards Paddock Hill Bend. They try and go side by side into the braking zone at Paddock as Toyne tries to re-attack Wainwright round the outside. Unable to do that. Can he cut back? Doesn't look like it. Danny Stanzel quick onto the rear gearbox there of John O'Baines. He can't find a way through as they go into Druids then. Bit sideways for Stanzel in the Eldon. He's chasing the Merlin of Jonathan Baines down into Graham Hill Bend. Both using good amount of curb there, both on the entry and the exit of Graham Hill Bend. Wainwright still under a lot of attack here from Simon Toyne, and Rob Smith is starting to close back in with the 2 cars ahead of him. Rob Smith in another of the Merlins. And look at that battle for 3rd. It is really close dice in there, as is the battle for 6th. Plenty to watch for here. Bartel and Mitchell seem to have settled down in that battle for the leader, and Wainwright, good through paddock that time, has pulled a gap on the 2 cars behind him. There's Kevin Stansel having a good battle with Ross Dryborough, and a foot further back there's Wiggins, Morris, Lovett and Sturmer all having a great dice tour. A quartet of cars up towards Druids. Danny Stansel looking to try and find a way into the top 6. He's trying to get ahead of the top 6, trying to get ahead of Jonathan Baines. It's Rob Smith behind him, of course, started in 5th place. That slow start though dropped him back, but he's trying to regain time. He goes through 30, kilometres the curb, which dismounts the camera slightly. He's trying to get a good run through Clearways, which then of course have a good run onto Clark Curve and then on down the Brabham Straight, but it doesn't seem to have worked for him very well at the moment. There are the leaders then, Bartel keeping this good gap to Mitchell, then we've got Wainwright breaking away from Buckton and Toyne. And there's that battle for 6, Baines, Stansel and Smith being closed in potentially by Percy Kaveri, and Ross Driver looking very racy on the rear of Kevin Stansel, who goes defensive up the hill in towards Druids, underneath the bridge, down again, turning in, Driver's car gets a bit sideways on the entry and then much more sideways on the exit of the corner, uses all the curb possible on the exit of Druids, and down into Graham Hill Bend, still covered in that cement dust. It was needed to be called after a car blew an engine yesterday and covered the circuit in oil. The marshal's done a good job to soak it up, but that cement dust is still laying there, and Driver was sideways on the exit of the corner, potentially because of it. Behind them is the 88 car, Rob Headley, one of the older Merlins. I think Headley from his first race weekend, if all reports, improving as the race weekend goes on. Toyne and Buckton together are 4th and 5th. They're having a good battle, and then it's now quartet of cars as Percy Kaveri closes on the cars in front, and now Driver's going around the outside of Kevin Stansel through Paddock Hill Bend. He can't make that done, but they are side by side up in towards the Druids hairpin. Stansel later on the brakes. He asserts his place ahead, and now they've got to lap the slower Janetta. And now they're going to go round the outside as Janetta gets out the way. That car being drove by Bill Cowing, the G18B, as the leaders go through Surtees and McLeod, a very fast part of the circuit. You can see Rob Wainwright is on now the tail of the 2nd place car. And that, of course, being championship leader Richard Mitchell. Driver looking to the inside of Kevin Stansel. He gets the place, or does he? Stansel's still there on the outside. You can see the shadow of the nose cone there. But I think Driver is going to have it done this time. The inside of Clearway's got the move done. And Stansel having to defend hard. This is Danny Stansel defending hard from Rob Smith, who's looking down the inside into Druids. He can't get it done though. Stansel stays ahead for now. A great battle this is for 6th, 7th and 8th. Through Graham Hill Bend and onto the Cooper Straight, down towards Surtees, the fast left-hander. Sideways there for Smith, and down a gear for Clearways. On board with Richard Mitchell, heading down towards Paddock Hill Bend, and Rob Wainwright just about finds a fall forward car length down the inside, and he gets it done. A great move from Wainwright, and he carries the speed through the corner well, so Mitchell can't really attack up in towards Drew if he thinks about it, but Wainwright's so late on the brakes he stays ahead. Meanwhile, Rob Smith goes down the inside of Danny Stansel to get 7th place away. So lots of moves there going into Paddock Hill Bend on this lap. Smith defending to stay ahead of Stansel. He's got it done, and then this is allowing John O'Baines just to pull away a few more car lengths. Leaders down into 30s. Wainwright already started to break away from Mitchell, and Buckton ahead of Toyne now. James Buckton up to 4th. There's Baines, and Smith, Stansel and Kaveri all battling nicely for 7th, 8th and 9th. Side by side here as well. James Lovett has Matthew Sturmer go right round the outside of him to 30s. That was a good move as well. Bartel, Wainwright and Mitchell 1st, 2nd and 3rd. Then you've got Buckton pulling away from Toyne now in the battle for 4th. John O'Baines sits in 6th. Then Smith, Stansel and Kaveri all together 7th, 8th and 9th. Bit of a lonely race for the Palliser of Chris Sharples. Then you've got Ross Driver, who's now pulling away from Kevin Stansel. Then you've got Rob Headley, a gap back to Brian Morris and Ollie Smith. Morris goes round the outside, gains the place ahead of Smith, and then a bit of a gap back to Williams and Sturmer, who's now started to pull a gap out to James Lovett. Max Bartel as Rob Wainwright closing on him. Wainwright's had loads of pace in this race. See how late he was on the brakes when he passed Richard Mitchell, just finding enough room to go through, and it worked very well. Stansel trying to get repast Rob Smith, although Smith carries a lot of speed through clearways to stay ahead of him. Plenty of great racing. Brands Hatch Indy always keeping the battles nice and tight, and of course Formula Ford slipstreaming helping to further that. Wiggins, Sturmer and Lovett, they're still having a nice dive. Ross Driver has now got onto the tail of Chris Sharples. He's got caught up to him quickly. Driver having lots of pace. He hasn't been racing that long. Every time out though, gaining time in every race he has, and now he's attacking Sharples, an experienced racer who knows how to defend, and that's why he's covering the inside line into Paddock Hill Bend. So Driver might have to rethink how to find a way through. The back end trying to break away from the apex of Paddock. The Driver caught that. That's going round the outside into Druid. Sharples covered the inside line. He stays ahead. He keeps the car nice and tight on the inside line there. So Driver was unable to find a way through. Now into Graham Hill Bend. He's right behind Sharples here, and he's got a good run out the corner. He's down the inside into Surtees, and he's got it done. A good move there to go up another place. Jono Baines into Paddock Hill Bend. It's a bit sideways on the exit, and up towards Druid we go. And Rob Smith found a play down the inside. He's gone through up to 6th place. That was a good move. They didn't look like there was room on the inside line there, but a bit sideways through Baines through Paddock allowed Smith to utilise that and go down the inside. Bartel and Wainwright are nose to tail still, the two leaders, and Richard Mitchell's really fallen into Buckton and Toyne, and this could be a pivotal for the championship if it's going to go down to Silverstone, where we're expected to see the best part of 50 cars compete on the HSCC finals weekend. One not to miss on the 17th of October. There's Mitchell and Buckton. Almost be like a mini Formula Ford festival having that many cars at Silverstone in a few weeks' time. Baines trying to re-tack Smith. We go into Druids. He's all over the back of the fellow Merlin driver. Baines in his first season of historic Formula Ford. He's had some good results. He had a podium at Donington. He's the reigning Classic Racing Cars champion in this car. Smith has a great drift there going through Surtees. He held on to it though. Baines very wide through clearways. That's allowed Smith just to break away slightly of Wainwright. All over the back of Max Bartel now. Bartel also racing in Classic Formula 3 this weekend. He's going for the championship in the Classic Formula 3s. He's had plenty of race wins in that this season. There's Smith, Baines and Stansel. Danny Stansel, a second-year driver. And as with Ross Driver, he gets very sideways into Druid, backing in like a motorcycle racer. But as I was saying, Stansel really improved throughout last year, and now he's a regular top 10 runner. And doing so again here at Brands Hatch, running in 8th place. And now battling with his dad for 9th in the championship. Baines looking to the inside, and Stansel had to get out of that. He was catching Baines at quite a speed and braking over clearways, and instead of running out the back of him, he turned left. And we've had a change with the lead, and Wainwright's already pulled a big gap on Max Bartel, so Robert Wainwright now leads the way here at Brands Hatch, trying to come back into the championship fight. If he didn't have those issues yesterday, it would be a very big chance that he would be in the championship fight, and it'd be very close, going to Silverstone possibly. Here's a battle for 6th as Baines gets very sideways, trying to re-attack Rob Smith. That's a great battle, and Stansel watching it all unfold. They're side by side in front of him. But Baines can't find a way through round the outside. There's a very slow car there going halfway down the hill. Attention, that was going into retirement. Down towards Surtees. We had everybody finish yesterday, which is a great achievement. Very full-on 20-minute races around the Brands Hatch Indy circuit. No time to rest, especially when you're involved in fierce battles, as most of the competitors are. Down towards Paddock Hill Bend they go then. What can Jono Baines do? He's had a good slipstream. He's looking to the outside of Rob Smith. They are running now level into Paddock Hill Bend, but Smith stays ahead. He goes defensive up the hill. He still stays in front. Even though there's lots of battling here, very difficult to overtake this Brands Hatch. So you've got to be very aggressive to be able to do so, or a mistake from the car ahead. Bartel sideways through Paddock. He's just lapped Andrew Wiggins. He's still trying to get back onto terms. Race leader Wainwright, Mitchell and Toy. Now James Button's made a mistake. He's dropped to 5th, and this is very vital for the championship because if the positions stay as they are, Richard Mitchell will be champion. So a mistake from James Button, and he's dropped down into 5th position. We're on the final lap of the race now. Battle for 6th is still on, isn't it? Rob Smith still having to defend from John O'Baines. But as it looks, we're going to have a champion before going to Silverstone. Heading to 30s on this last lap. Doesn't look like Baines is going to be able to get 6th place. But Robert Wainwright wins the race with 2nd place Max Bartel, but the champion of the 2015 HSCC Historic Formula 4 Championship is Richard Mitchell, the speed sport driver, then takes the win, and he is delighted with that. He finished in 3rd, with where everybody else finished. That's all he needed to do here at Brands Hatch to claim the championship. He missed Dalton Park. He didn't have the greatest weekend at Croft, but 2 podium finishes at Brands Hatch, enough to clinch the championship. But it was the Eldon of Robert Wainwright that won the race by just 3/4 of a second in a busy 23 lapper. Richard Mitchell finished 3rd, just 2/10 ahead of Simon Toy. James Button's mistake, he dropped down to 5th because that Rob Smith just held on to 6th ahead of Jonathan Baines. Danny Stanley involved in that battle as well. Percy Guerrero finished 9th. Ross Dryborough took his first top 10 finish with Chris Sharples close behind. Kevin Stansel got 12, just ahead of Brian Morris, and Oliver Smith in 14th, just beating Matthew Sturmer. Andrew Wiggins, James Lubbock, Chris Williams, Peter Finnegan and Bill Cowing also all finished. The fastest lap going to Max Bartel, 51.9, averaging out, getting on for 84 miles per hour around this tight and twisty Brands Hatch circuit. Very, very happy is Richard Mitchell. We've taken championship, unsurprisingly happy, of course, and the Speed Sport team congratulate him on that achievement. Here are the confirmation of the current championship standard. It's Richard Mitchell that leads it, but look at this: James Button, Robert Wainwright, Simon Toy very close going to a Silverstone. We've got a battle also between Max Bartel and Jonathan Baines for 5th. Callum Grant sits 7th ahead of Perty Guerrero, and the 2 Stansels equal on 69 points heading to Silverstone. Danny and Kevin. That's how Brands Hatch exciting racing concludes.